How you doing, YouTube squad? Welcome to my channel. This is YouTube Can Be Great, and yes, I'm over here sitting up on the floor barbecue. Actually, I'm boiling my barbecue ribs. I'm gonna make ribs tonight because it seems like that's what my husband likes to eat. He says the ribs are bomb, so I'm making it right now. But while it's cooking, let's get this review in. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13, episode 15, Cajun Peaches review. So last episode, they stopped off with Drew inviting everybody to go to New Orleans. So they're off to New Orleans, okay, New Orleans, because from what I saw, I need to be part of that group. Now, Drew's stylist needs to be fired or crucified for having her looking a hot ass mess in almost every other show or every other episode that I have seen her on. Because the confessional outfit, that little dress with her titties that she had on, we saw the full view. Somebody's passing out the photos of the full view, and oh my God, is that the dress that she wore for her interview for this iHeartRadio show that she was going to New Orleans for? That stylist needs an ass whooping, okay? Because I feel like that stylist is setting her up. Nobody's can change my mind, because sometimes her head is on fleek, her makeup is on point, but then her clothes look like shit. Or her clothes are on point, her makeup would be good, but her wigs look like they're social distancing from her scalp. I mean, seriously, it's like there's always something wrong with Drew, and I don't like it anymore. I'm tired of it. It's episode 15, get it right. Now, Kenya took note that they all complained about her having Brooklyn in North Carolina, or Charlotte, I think it's Charleston or whatever, Charleston, when they went and had the whole Bolo episode scene going, when they went there and she was supposed to be the host, not the Bolo scene, the host. And she had brought Brooklyn, and she didn't issue a disclaimer to everybody like Candy or Portia to say, hey, you can bring your baby. But then now that Drew has issued a disclaimer saying if you want to bring babies, babies are invited, not one of them girls brought the babies except for her. So Kenya, I don't know if your point is to say that even if you told them, none of them would have. I don't think that was the point that you should make. I think it's more so that you were supposed to be technically the host that Bravo assigned, wink, wink. So you're supposed to be acting like the host, and you spent the whole time in your room and used Brooke as an excuse. If that was the case, then bitch, don't be the host. I think that's the point, not necessarily that you brought your baby. Now, Toya decided not to drink, thank God, because she will steal Kenya. She wants to steal Kenya back from Marlo, and she made it clear to us that she considers Portia to be the side chick in this situation, because now Toya has realized that she has betrayed Kenya's trust, and that's why she threw that whole fit last episode. So now she's gonna work overtime trying to get Kenya to be back on her side, even if it means attacking Portia or leaving Portia out in the dust, because she wants Kenya to be back on her side. Then, for me, I have never been to New Orleans. I've heard so many things about New Orleans, but when they first get there and everything that we're showing in addition to the food and everything like that, I was very excited. No, Sassy, I was very excited to see, that was my dog, by the way, trying to do something bad. I was very excited to see that New Orleans is still as wonderful. It doesn't matter what movie or what show I'm watching. Every time New Orleans is in the episode, even the originals, Vampire Diaries, I did like that episode. The originals was a spinoff. New Orleans always looks like someplace I need to be. And my friend right now lives in New Orleans, and I can't wait to go visit her, especially during the Essence Festival. I think that's where they have it, in New Orleans. Anyway, Drew's booty bounce hotel room competition comes up, because now they're in New Orleans and they got to pass out the rooms. Drew has all the keys, and she said that we're going to have to twerk and booty shake our asses because we have to figure out who's going to get the best room and who's going to get the worst room. Kenya decides to get up and said that she will not be degrading herself by booty bouncing to get a room. I'm just like, bitch, when you just on the floor doing the Bolo bachelorette party situation with your ass out, your legs out, spread open, talking about naming all the positions and how you sit down in somebody's face and all this nonsense that you were saying, now all of a sudden you can't shake your ass, number one. Number two, when Fader was on the show, didn't you wear fishnets and put some patterns on your booty? You were damn near naked when Nene was on the show talking about this is your own donkey booty. You were walking around half naked in an event, girl. I think it was like a charity event. Now all of a sudden, those fake asses that you have can't move, you can't shake, just for a little bit to get some keys. But she goes, because she don't want to participate, and she goes to Drew and she forces Drew to basically give her keys. So Drew did what I would do, give her the worst room. Since you're not participating in this, you don't get the best room, heifer. So Kenya goes in, while Portia's on her hands and knees trying to win this twerk fest. And Kenya goes into the hotel, not asking for a better room, because she feels like Drew gave her the worst room, and how dare Drew give her the worst room when she knows that she came with a baby. Girl, you didn't put in this room anyway. No, Bane. You didn't put anything. Bane. No. You didn't put in on any of this. That was my other dog. You didn't put in on this at all. So if you want to sit up there and not participate and not have fun when this is a show we got to put up and I'm the host and you don't want to follow the rules, you get the shitty ass room. So she goes and she says that she wants a different room and she's going to pay extra money for it because she got the coins for it. And then Portia ends up winning the challenge, and she ends up getting the best room. And Portia now says that Kenya probably got the worst room because it's karma, because she had given Marlo the worst room, trying to get Marlo back for all the things that Marlo had supposedly done to her in the past. Even though it was back and forth, she was doing things to Marlo, Marlo was doing things to her, and that this is karma for her for what she has done. But of course, Portia's not feeling Kenya, since Kenya keeps talking about Bolo, and Bolo, and Bolo is making Portia feel uncomfortable because she feels like she's being shamed. I know Portia fucked Bolo. We're not gonna spin it and say that she did not. She absolutely did something with Bolo. Everybody heard it. But the thing is, she don't want to admit it because she may be embarrassed that she had sex with a stripper because she was that horny. And that's the only reason why she feels some type of ways on national television. And she's trying to hide the fact that she was just so into it that she just couldn't control herself. That's what that is. Then we get to the section where they're now having to go bike riding and touring and supposedly eating afterwards, because they're going to see New Orleans with the tour guide. And then bike rides were bomb. I can see them. And Portia was my spirit, because Portia said, thank God Drew arranged this, because as big as our asses are, who knew we can get them on a bike? And somehow they were able to fit all that ass on a bike. And I was very proud of her for even considering that. So that was fun looking. Now, while they were in the bus to go to this bike ride, I did notice that Kenya decided to ignore Drew's call when Drew called her to find out where she was at while they were downstairs waiting, but she decided to pick up Cynthia's call. Kenya is the most pettiest adult I've ever met in my life. Kenya always cries victim. That is what I have noticed about Kenya. She is always the victim. Kenya is just as equally messy as every single girl on this cast and every single girl on Real Housewives cast has ever been. I don't know why on earth she'll think that for some reason that all of a sudden now everybody can shade other people, or they can do that, but it's not going to apply to her. Kenya, shut up. But now she's treating Drew like crap, and she's not picking her calls up. So they get on the bikes, they do what they're doing. Then it's time to eat some fried alligators and some boo fries. So they bring the food, and then baby vegan Portia decides that this is the one time she's on vacation. Babies make mistake, and since she's the baby vegan, she's gonna go ahead and eat this alligator, and nobody's gonna stop her. And I'm thinking, is that what we eating now? I thought that we only eat food like that when we're like starving, you know, like shitless. But I've never heard anybody eating fried baby alligator. I've heard snakes, I've heard snails, because we know escargot and all that stuff. But alligators, girl, can you even chew through their skin? Anyway, if you have ever tried fried alligators or alligators in general, please leave me a comment below and let me know how it tastes. Because that and frog legs are not my portion. I'm not eating any one of those. Now we have Kenya decided to call Marlo her bestie, and Portia immediately feels threatened at the table. She looks at Kenya when Kenya talks about Marlo being her bestie, and she feels some type of way about it. I know that Portia can say, well, I don't care if Marlo's friends with Kenya. I don't care. She absolutely cares, because right now that she feels that Kenya is shaming her for having sex with a stripper, she feels like if Marlo is her real friend, Marlo should be having her back. Why would Marlo be bestie with somebody who's trying to put me down on national television? So I know she feels some type of way. That's just, you cannot not feel some type of way if you're a human being. Then it gets silent while everybody's eating. Toya decides that she has not had enough camera time in this scene, so she's going to make a scene. So to do that, she now says that this quiet time that they're having after a meal is because it's a repeat of Fallon's party no party situation, because Fallon's party was kind of boring. Even though the costumes were on point, the party was kind of boring. And so she's gonna now say that Drew's meal is giving her Fallon vibes, but she's taking a dig at Fallon and at Drew at the same time simultaneously. The problem in this situation is Drew's situation hasn't been boring. Nola has been fun. They came, they had the trumpet singing, they had the booty, the twerking competition, get the room, they had the bike ride tour, and now y'all are eating freaking alligators and some boo fries. It is not boring. It's just that you want this to be about you. So Drew takes offense to it, and Drew decides to bully her in response. Now, Drew brings, actually no, before that happens, I want to touch on the fact that Cynthia and Kenya had tried to talk to Toya and say, why is it that you keep taking shots at Fallon? Fallon didn't do nothing to you. The truth of the matter is, Toya is highly jealous of Fallon or her situation, because Toya probably feels that she's equally pretty and she's probably more of a freak than Fallon. How did Fallon get this good life and she's going through a divorce? So Toya is jealous of Fallon, and that's a guaranteed fact, number one. And Fallon has a nice body. Number two, Cynthia tried to correct her and say that what you did in her house, you don't go up in somebody else's house doing a party and disrespect them the way that you did and talk about their husband the way that you did. It's rude as hell when they extended an invitation to you. It's wrong to do. And Toya said, well, I did it. I went up to their house and I did it. And to me, I looked at Toya like, I don't even like Toya no more. I'm sorry. I don't care. It's episode 15. I thought that maybe her personality would get better. It will grow on me. Toya is like the 10 times worse version of Kenya. Kenya, I can tolerate on certain situations, but Toya, I don't like her ass, because why would you treat that girl that way? And then Toya says something like, well, that party was boring until I made a scene outside. Bitch, bye, shut up, get your ass in the car and be quiet. So Drew, after hearing all of this, decides that she's gonna bully her and basically try to get her in her place. But she puts it in the form of, I was concerned because we went to church together. Not together, but we went to the same church. We just happened to be there together. And you had this moment where you were crying, expressing how you wanted to not drink anymore. Maybe you got touched by the spirit and you wanted to change your lifestyle. You felt like you wanted to be a better version of yourself. So we all thought that you would start by not drinking. And Drew put it in the form as if she needs to be in AA because she's an alcoholic, instead of saying that she just does not know how to control her drink when she does drink. That would have been the appropriate way to say it, but Drew wanted to take a dig, and she sure wanted to make her feel uncomfortable because she felt like Toya was getting on her damn nerves. So in response, she wanted to make her comfortable at the table. So Kenya decides to say that Drew's bullying her. Toya can never be in a position to where I'll consider her the girl that's being bullied. I'm sorry. She deserves all the mouth that she gets. She gets from people because she has a mouth that she gives to people. She ain't no damn victim. So... but was Drew trying to be messy? Yes, Drew was trying to be messy, and she didn't say that out of concern. That's facts. Then the next thing we got is Kenya decides, they're back at the hotel. Kenya decides that she wants to go visit Cynthia, and Portia goes to go and visit Drew privately. This is separate scenes going on. And Kenya says to Cynthia that Drew's been bullying Toya regarding the drink situation. And I'm just like, Kenya, didn't you talk about Drew's wig when you first came on the show and try to make it seem like she don't have a good stylist? I mean, she don't have a good stylist. Obviously, with that damn wig she keeps coming on, her stylist needs to either go back to school and learn how to style properly. But that's true, but y'all didn't know her and you were still picking at her, even if she hasn't, nobody told her about it. Well, I think somebody did tell her about it. They were talking about her wig later on. But Ken, you've also said something bad to Drew, and Drew didn't do nothing to you. And you're sitting up here acting like Toya herself is the victim based on how we just saw her treat Fallon in the last episode. I don't feel sorry for Toya at all. If she's getting bullied, she needs to be put in her place. She needs to be knocked the peg down, and she needs to shut the fuck up. So I don't feel sorry for her. Then we get to Drew and whatchamacallit, Shamia going into the room to join, where was I? Portia and Drew now talking about what happened. And what was I gonna say? Hold on, I have my notes here. I think I got lost. Oh, my bad, here we go. Shamia decides to join Portia and Drew in the room. And Shamia happens to bring up Marlo and Portia's friendship. And Portia says that she's a bit kind of shocked about them being friends, even though Cynthia had already admitted that she's the one that brought them together and now that they're friends. Portia admitted that it was kind of weird that the same day that Kenya decided to throw it out there that she and Tanya were in the room with Bolo, and she snitches on herself again, her and Tanya were in the room with Bolo. Tanya probably doesn't want anybody to know that she screwed Bolo, but Tanya has been engaged for a long time. And since that man don't want to really walk her down the aisle, I think that she might as well behave like she's single. So if her and Portia are going to go out there and have a threesome with guy, one of the biggest penises they have ever seen in their life, they wanted a taste. Why not? So Portia keeps telling herself and saying that her and Tanya were in the same room with Bolo till morning, because Bolo probably has some serious stamina, and that she feels like it's odd that while this situation is going on and Kenya keeps talking about it, that Marlo and Kenya decided to build this friendship into her. She feels like Marlo's being a fake friend. So they discuss this, and they decide that Shamia says you need to go ahead and at some point go and talk to Marlo to try and figure out, I guess, the best way to deal with the situation, since y'all don't want to be getting along with each other, since y'all having the issues, I mean. Then Drew decides in the next scene that she's about to get glammed up because she's going to go to her iHeartRadio interview, and she wants Cynthia to accompany her because Cynthia has been supportive of all her endeavors. And while this is happening, or while this is preparing to be happening, we have the porch scene where Candy and Marlo finally joined the New Orleans trip because Candy had to go to her audition for the movie that she is in, and Marlo wasn't feeling well because her back was hurting. But now they're in there, they're having food and drinks, and Toya made sure to point out the fact that there's a lot of alcohol already in her presence before she came in. So if these heifers are going to think she's an alcoholic, so are they. And then what's her name? Drew says that they have a dance, I think a line dancing thing called Zydeco that's supposed to be a New Orleans line dancing, and they show a video of that type of line dancing. I'm like, what is this? It looks like somebody doing the June bug on crack. Either way, they have to go and learn this, and that this is New Orleans dance. When they get there to go and Zydeco, do the dance, all it looks like with them cheek clapping and go and twerking. That's all they were doing. They were twerking and basically learning how to behave when you're in the strip club. It looked nothing like the video that what we saw with them tapping back and forth and going around in circles like there's some drunk tap dancers. It wasn't the same thing that we saw. They were out there shaking their ass. Candy tried to twerk, but she couldn't twerk. Her ass was too damn hard. Cynthia and Portia and Shamia were out there getting it in because their ass can move. Shamia has some serious booty and she's absolutely beautiful. Portia was on the floor doing everything that she did to Dennis when he was in that bed on that floor. And I was just enjoying every bit of it because it looked like they were having some serious fun. And then you had Marlo also in there getting it in. I mean, all the girls seemed like they were genuinely enjoying the Zydeco dance. And even Kenya was out there doing her thing with her fake booty. Now, after it was all over, Portia and Marlo decided they want to have a conversation. Or Portia actually pulls Marlo aside because she wants to now address what she's feeling because she's feeling like Marlo's being a fake friend. Now, while she's addressing Marlo ignoring her, Marlo decides to bring up some situation when she wasn't even friends with Kenya, when Portia had just had her baby and Kenya had just had Pilar, and they were now bonding over them being new parents, and she said that they were ignoring her. Bitch, your ass wasn't friend with Kenya. Kenya was ignoring you and having a conversation with Portia because that's the person that she could talk to. But Marlo used that as a form of deflection because she's been called to the spot and saying that she's been ignoring Portia now that she's trying to nurture her friendship with Kenya. It seems more to me that Marlo will value a friendship more so with Kenya than she would with Portia. That's what I'm seeing. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm perceiving. Now, while they're talking about it, Marlo decides to deflect again and bring up the circumstances of Bolo. She said, did you do it? Bitch, why, you're her friend. Why would you ask her something like that when the cameras are rolling? Why don't you wait till the season is up, privately in her house, and then ask her if she did or she did not? Why would you ask her that and put her on the spot? Because Portia's gonna lie. She said, no, I didn't do it. So Marlo's like, now that I know you said no, I'm gonna go ahead and go make sure that when Kenya brings it up, I'm gonna address it and make sure that she's not. Girl, bye. Marlo wanted to do something to kind of shock Portia, and Portia was feeling some type of way. Like, my friends wouldn't even ask me something like that. Like, why would you even do that? It's none of your business who I'm fucking in the first place. Why would you even go there? Marlo was trying to be messy, and right now I feel like Marlo was being fake. I could be wrong, but I felt like Marlo was being fake. Y'all tell me what you think about this scene, because I felt like she was being fake. That's just me. Now, back up on the bus. Shamia lets Kenya know what's happening because everybody's sitting there waiting for Portia and Marlo to come back from their conversation. Shamia says, well, you know, Portia's been feeling some kind of way since Marlo has befriended you, that she's been being ignored, so she wants to take care of it. Kenya goes, I'm not with that high school shit. Kenya, you have done several high school shit on the entire franchise since your ass has been on this show. So shut up. You act like you're holier than thou. Portia has an issue. She wants to address it. Get over it. Now, as they're talking about it, of course, Kenya's going to bring up the whole Bolo situation again, and Shamia didn't fall for it. She said, you're her friend. You know what happened. Bitch, I am her friend, and because it was a bachelorette party, you're not going to hear nothing from me. And everybody keeps telling me it was a bachelorette party. Stop bringing that shit up. Now, I know that I'm enjoying her messiness and bringing it up, because I know that if it was Kenya in that room, Portia will bring it up. Okay, so I'm not feeling some type of way that Kenya, who's not Portia's friend, is bringing it up. I don't feel bad for Portia. It is what it is. However, I see Kenya still trying to get at least one person to be on her team aside from Marlo and admit that it was Portia in that room. She will not stop until she is vindicated because she has told no lies. Now, while that's happening, freaking Toya again, because it's not about her, wakes up from her slumber and decides to go ahead and join the conversation. I love me some Africans. Hell, I love me some Black Americans too, because y'all don't take shit. You know how to check people. Because Toya pipes in and says something like, what'd she say? She goes, so that means that you're like her lapdog, Portia's lapdog. She may gather her real quick. She said, ain't nobody talking to you. Calm down and go back to sleep. Toya probably looked at her. She looked dead at her. Ain't nobody talking to you. Calm down and go back to sleep. And Toya probably was just like, ooh, I shouldn't try her. She is nothing like Fallon, baby. Back the hell off. And then Marlo and Portia come back in the bus. Kenya asks Marlo why she looks like she's upset. Probably just being nosy. She don't give a damn Marlo's upset. She just wants to know what they talked about because she wants to be nosy. And then Candy is like, okay, listen to them. And it looks like Marlo says something like, maybe give me some drinks in my system and I'll tell you, I will talk about it then. And Candy just kind of rolled her eyes like, girl, we don't have this time like this. But it ends there. In the next episode, we find out that Marlo has officially created another storyline by inserting herself in between the drama and Portia and Kenya, because now she feels like she's the middleman being pulled from here to here. And so she's now wanting to address the situation because she feels some type of way. Marlo does not have to be between Kenya and Portia. Marlo can equally treat Portia and Kenya as friends. It's just as simple as whenever Kenya is in front of you, tell Kenya not to talk about Portia because Portia is somebody you care about. And when Marlo's in front of Portia, tell Portia not to talk about Kenya because it's somebody you're growing to care for. It's as simple as that. But you sitting up here trying to say, well, I'm being pulled this other way. The problem is Kenya is still running her mouth about what Portia did with Bolo when Portia is trying to lay it to bed, and you're not addressing it. And from Portia's standpoint, that is not what a friend does. Facts. Now, I also know that Nene had an issue when Marlo was trying to be friends with Kenya too, because everybody knows that Kenya doesn't play fair. And if Nene felt like Marlo was going to Kenya and telling all her business, she didn't feel like you could be friends with me because you might be snitching. I don't know. There's some friends I had that issue because I feel like, can I trust you to be friends with this person that's my enemy and not be mad at me one day, or we not have a fight one day and you go and tell all my business to this hoe? So I can see where Portia is a little bit uncomfortable. But that's how they ended. In the next episode, they're supposed to talk about it and hopefully they, come to some kind of conclusion, but it ain't going to happen. They're going to end up in some kind of fight, and Toya is going to insert herself in somebody else's business as always because she wants some camera time. She's behaving the way she's behaving, an annoying little asshole because she wants some camera time. Period. Now, that was the review. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and let me know what you think about this episode and how Real Housewives of Atlanta this season is going. I can't wait to the reunion because I want everybody to gather every single thing that we have heard. Drew needs somebody to talk to her. Toya needs somebody to talk to her. Portia needs to go ahead and admit that she fucked Bolo, so we just lay to rest after she admits it so Kenya can stop talking about it. And it's just going to be interesting to see how they all play out. Bye.